Here he is.
You can even see it, man.
It's good enough. Who cares? I know the Jeff Smith. That's right, guys. Here he is. He's here today. We're going to take some questions. Let's get going. So when is CES?
CES is January 7th through the 11th.
So, okay, so it starts on... Okay, so it's just that first week.
It is so Tuesday through Friday.
Bobby, hey, what's going on? So
Tuesday
Bobby's gonna hook up with us in Cali. He's gonna pick us up from the airport when we fly in, because we're flying in early Thursday. Hey, have you ever been to the Peterson Museum? Have you ever been to the Peterson Museum in California?
Are you flying into Long Beach or are you flying into...
No, we're flying into LAX because they wanted extra to fly into Long Beach.
Yeah, it's a little airport.
And it's expensive. It was like another $250 to fly into there. And I was like, I can do a lot with $250.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to the show. Have you guys ever installed the Sundown audio components?
Not the subwoofers, but not components.
Never done that. Hey, from Cali. What's up, Brian?
What's up?
So the plan for today is ask questions. Just ask questions. Jeff is here to help us answer the questions.
Yeah.
You excited?
I am excited.
So
super excited.
Super excited. All right, let me fix
Mr.
the color
Smith's
here.
in the house. Yes.
What's up, Van Hoy?
Oh, is Robert there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Johnny, loud and clear, is in the house, too.
Johnny, loud and clear, Wiley, Texas.
Let's see, Philip Bordeaux. Single cab Silverado, what would you all choose? 2 8-inch scars or 12-inch scar VX in a center console box?
Ooh, okay. Oh, wow, that's really bright. I went crazy on that
one. I guess it would just depend if the 2 8s are going to go...
I'm guessing under the seat?
He said single cab.
Yeah, single cab.
Single cab, so either
2 8s behind the seat.
8s or
two
single
8s under the seat, or...
Oh, no, behind the seat.
Behind the seats, I'm sorry. Or center console.
Center console, single 12. If it's buckets,
yeah.
Center console, single 12 for sure.
I agree. Yeah. More bass.
I concur.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, from Mile High, Denver.
Anthony.
Car gifts in the house.
Did you get the pictures from the UK? Yes, I did get those pictures from the UK.
That's Luis, huh?
Jeff Smith, a.k.a. Mr. BMX. You know how bummed out they were that they didn't get to talk to you about BMX?
I know, that was so weird. We did that whole thing, and at the end...
Yeah, you had to go...
like...
Hey, what's up, Jason?
We didn't ask a single question about BMX.
So, I was watching their show. They just did like a year in review.
Uh-huh.
And so they each picked like the 3 shows that they thought were the best. And we're talking about 12 Volt Talk with Derek and Vega. And Derek picked your interview as one of his favorites for the year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'll have to tell
when
Jeff
I
tonight.
see it, you have this crazy longboard amplifier.
The heat sink.
What they call it, 66?
The custom 66?
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I got somebody working on doing some...
Happy holidays.
Crazy.
Some work on it for me.
From New Hampshire.
Somebody asked earlier about a Tahoe.
Let me see.
All right, so
2-way, 3-way.
All right.
And the pillars.
I heard all about BMX.
Yeah, Yukon, 2-way components or 3-way. Jeff, stock dash, location, or a pillar.
Well, if it's the newer style, Tahoe Yukon 15 and newer, it has a dash location. If it's a full range driver or a point source like an Illusion C3, definitely in the stock location. If it's a true 3-way, mid in the dash, tweeter in the pillar, or even in the sail panel a little bit further back so it's not as obtrusive, and mid bass in the door all day.
Yeah, because I mean that Nick's system was the Illusion 3.5 up in the dash, and the Focal Flax mid bass in the door, and he won the show.
Yeah.
So there was a question up there earlier about the new ATV radio, which we were just talking about off camera. The Stinger ATV.
The MX1?
Yeah, the MX1. Someone said it looks a lot like the Rockford piece. My answer to that is they all look the same, but...
Similar shape. I mean, it's meant to go into the same type vehicles, those power sports vehicles.
Find Johnny's question.
So it's... I mean, it has to be a particular shape.
Yeah.
Just makes it easier to fit.
It's like their DIN size.
Yeah, it's... They call it a 3-inch can.
Okay.
So basically it's a 3-inch hole and the radio is basically a can behind it. So they all look kind of... Graphics are totally different. A lot of the controls are totally different. We do some pretty unique things with the SPX M1 like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It has 4 negative trigger outs. So literally when you add this radio to boats or ATVs and things like that, instead of you having to add switches other places in the vehicle, you'll be able to switch those 4 things off and on from the head unit.
And you said it does high-res audio?
It will do, as of now.
As of now!
As of now.
Beta.
Yeah.
All right, so Johnny say, got a question. 2018 Kia Optima with the Harman system. Customer already had a system installed by other shop. A low volume sub will randomly make like ANC noise, but don't see any mics or modules. It's a 2018 Kia.
2018 Kia, there's got to be something.
It has to be, ANC module.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. Every time we get a car in like that, we automatically just go to the RTA.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a handheld RTA or a DM RTA or any form of RTA, just connect it to what you grabbed for the signal and show it all the doors, roll up all the windows, start up the engine, turn the radio down, and pump the gas pedal, and see if you get you should get a something. It should do this,
Right.
and it just as you rev up the engine, it goes woo, and you go, oh, my life sucks.
So
But that would be the only
lost
thing.
one right here.
Lots of BMX guys do car stereo.
A lot of
There you
BMX guys do
go.
car stereo. It's BMX guys and remote control car guys.
Yeah, one guy said he was an old NBL guy. So there used to be 2 different racing organizations. There was NBL and then ABA. He said
You
he
just
raced.
like being part of organizations.
I mean, it's
Alaska, you suck.
It's
I mean,
what you do, you know. So
What's up, James? Turner question. Running
two.
two-way component with biample passive crossovers. If you're running active, leave the passive in play or leave them out.
kicker
That's a
Q
kicker
components.
Q components.
Oh, he just got a bunch of kicker.
I mean,
kicker stuff.
if you're doing 2-way active, definitely take them out. Unless was it biampable?
Yeah, they're biampable. I know, right? That's a good one.
If it's for a customer and
I think it's his stuff. He just got a bunch of stuff under his Christmas tree.
Okay.
Well, let's look at it from both perspectives.
It depends. Does he have a DSP or does he not have a DSP?
So the DSP I saw in the picture was that analog front row that Kicker makes.
Then yes, I would leave the passives in
Passive?
place.
Right,
Yes.
and that was kind of my thought. Because if you're not doing... Because he's using KX series amplifiers. In the picture there was KX series amplifiers and a front row. So that being that, I would leave... Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the
passives.
front row is predominantly it does certain features, but it has center channel capabilities as well.
All right, question on the Phoenix Gold DSP. Can you connect your phone via Wi-Fi to the DSP for the high-res audio?
Yes.
While in an Android auto mode?
RC car guy here. No, you can't
I
do
don't
Connect your
both.
think so.
phone via Wi-Fi to the DSP for high-res audio. Okay, so the best way to do while in Android Auto mode.
I
No, you
don't
gotta
think
pick
so,
one or the other.
because
Yeah.
it's just like
yeah, because
Android auto.
you're plugged into the port, so
Yeah.
yeah, you can do Android Auto and stream
high-res.
Now you can if it's an Android device and you have high-res files stored into the phone, right?
Yeah.
So you have some Android. This is why Android is kind of weird. Some Android devices.
This is why. Nothing else, it's just this.
So Android devices are natively Bluetooth, right, for audio streaming.
For app deck.
So you
Or
have
they
to
have app deck.
download a particular app in order to stream via Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So it doesn't do it automatically. So it's a little complicated, but I honestly don't know, man. I've never tried it. I'm not a
So the
I'm
real
not an
answer to
Android
this
guy.
question would be the easiest thing to do would be buy an iPad, get the Onkyo app, put a bunch of high-res files on it, and play it that way.
Well, no, he can still use the Android device.
Well, if you wanted to do Android Auto and high-res music, just a thought.
well, because the phone's plugged in for Android Auto,
This is
Yeah.
fun.
right? So the audio from the high-res app in the device may make it possible. I honestly don't know. I'm not an Android guy, so I don't do Android
Yeah.
Auto.
Right.
So.
All right, Jeff. Thoughts on the mechanical limitation of the CO enclosure on subwoofers? What's a weight
To circumvent it,
to circumvent less RMS feet?
mechanical limitations of, I mean, I guess it would really depend on the application. I mean, if you're talking a single woofer versus multiple woofers, I mean, the mechanical limitations is all gonna, it's all power over cone area. I mean, depends on how much output you're trying to get out of the entire situation.
I mean, it always falls back to the simple rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Ported is going to be boomy and loud,
Yeah.
and sealed is going to be
tight,
less
punchy,
boomy.
and
But
it just depends on your application as well.
So the other thing too that I've
Bismarck?
found over the years, and you might agree with this, is it really just depends on the woofer. So like if you take a cheap woofer, put it in a ported box, it sounds amazing. It's like, oh wow, it's so fat and it's great and everyone's loud. Take a high-end woofer, put it in a small sealed enclosure, it's going to be just as boomy in some cases as that cheap woofer and give you that same, but then it's also going to give you that great sealed sound quality that you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the vehicle, right? So there's so many variations to subwoofer application because I've seen, like Casey's car, for instance, right?
Okay.
Casey's Jetta, Passat, whatever it is,
with
the
the
black
2.8s.
PW. If you listen to Casey's Morel demo vehicle,
Mhm.
you would never think that that's 2.8s ported in that car.
Right.
It sounds like a sealed, really nice size. You would think it was a single 12 sealed.
Like
with
the
good
12 that
power
they
on
make.
It sounds amazing.
Wow.
Bass, and I mean,
Oh, yeah,
bass
it was
is up
impressive.
front. I mean, everything else.
Yeah, you have
And when he showed me it was a 2.8s vented, I was blown
Hey,
away.
you were
Well, that
talking
was the
about
fir-
Hi-Fi Vegas right there.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
what's up, man?
That was the first question I asked him once we got in there because I knew it was coming at me.
Yeah.
And he had the little
Twos,
2.5s and
yeah.
the tweeters coming right at me, which I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I said, well, what do you have for a sub? And he's like, and I go, crap.
And it's their
Yeah.
cheap 8s. Well,
Oh,
not
it is
cheap.
cheap. Well, it's the
inexpensive.
It's the inexpensive 8s,
Wow.
and it's in a spare tire box.
Well, somebody asked about the 8-inch P2 that I have in my car, and for me, it's enough. It's
Yeah.
plenty bass, so
Even that
It
little
sounds
spare
really
tire
good.
wheel thing, dude, was super
Oh,
impressive.
Ooh, that was
super
yeah,
impressive.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the
Hub
JBL
Pro.
Bass Hub.
The Bass
Bass
Hub.
Hub Pro.
Uh-huh.
When we shot the video on that and in Fernando's car, he happened to stop by,
Yeah.
and I go, "You got to hear this because you're not gonna believe what it is."
Oh yeah.
And you were like, "What?"
All right. What's up, guys? Do you know why my system cuts out, especially in the mornings when it's cold? But if I'm driving around for a while, it doesn't, and my voltage is decent.
So this is one of those cool things that it's like, obviously, no, we don't know the answer to the question, but we can kind of throw up ideas of what might cause a system to suck in the morning and
Is it-
not in the afternoon.
Did he say it was cold where he was at?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
assuming
guessing.
it could be, it's either cold or moist. You know, those are usually the two things that cause,
Yeah, cold.
yeah. Because there is an operating temperature for amplifiers.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I mean,
amplifiers do have to get
if
up
it's
to...
a CD head unit, I mean, the lens on the drive could be foggy. I mean, there's
So many things.
so many,
Yeah.
so
But-
many possibilities.
You know, and this is the funny one okay, so we put obviously, we put a lot of amps underneath the seats. Okay.
Hey, Sue,
Um,
that's your wife.
oh, hey. Hey, it's the Jeff Smith. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the jazz.
You going to Kohl's soon?
Hey, Jeff. Who's talking to me? Moist. Sidetrack.
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
So when we put the amps underneath the seat, everyone always goes, does it get too hot? And it's like, well, where do you live?
Yeah.
Okay, because if you live up north, yeah, okay, it's going to get hot, but your amp is frozen. So, I don't know.
You think
I've
because
always-
they have the heat on
Yeah.
the floor?
I mean, it's going to thaw it out. It's got to get, because the amp has to get to operating temperature.
Remote start
All right,
fixes
exactly. I like Ron. You see,
Yes,
remote
yes.
start fixes everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
How do you make a harness for a 2019 Kia Forte and a 5-channel amp? Okay, so you go to metraonline.com and see if they have the Access T harness for it. If they don't, then you see if they have just the radio replacement harness for it, which is going to be a 70 something something something, and they usually have a 71 something something. So you buy two 70s and one 71 because the 70 usually doesn't have all the pins, but the 71 does. But my guess is they probably have the T harness for that.
All right.
But
So
anyway.
hold on a second. Hi-Fi Vega just asked a question. He asked me Redline or Haro. So currently, my current setup is Redline. Previous to this, it was a Haro. But Redline for the past 2019, for the past 6 years, Redline. Yeah. So
That's a BMX.
BMX. Bro.
BMX.
Okay.
Fernando's like,
I'm like,
lost.
okay, what are we talking about? Red line, white line.
Triple XL Pro.
What's going on?
No, they were talking about whether because they were talking about how you still ride BMX.
Yeah.
And they don't because I'm what. So Big D Wiz says he's like, I think he said he's 6'4".
See, look at that. Ron
Vega,
knows
I
you.
think is probably got to be what 6'2" or 6'3".
Yeah. He's got the new big cruiser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a whole new market now. They do these rides, even over in Tampa.
Really?
Dude, you'll see 60 guys riding. PK Rippers, the new 26 Red Lines, the new big GTs.
So they've grown with you since your youth.
Dude,
It's like, hey, you know what'd be really cool?
Yeah.
So when
Take
is
the little
the
frame
next
and make it
competition
big.
that they have right here?
So here at Osmar, it's actually not going to be in February. They normally have the Gator Nationals here. They're not going to do it because right now the track is closed because it has structural issues.
Okay.
So they've moved the Gator Nationals to Sarasota's Olympic track. So they have a very similar track down to Sarasota. So it's going to be in February. Sometime. I hope I don't. I have to check the dates because it may conflict with K-Fest.
Right.
So
right.
I gotta.
Bill Freeman, GT performer.
Yeah, GT Performer was that's where my first race bike was an Interceptor. And then my last freestyle bike was a GT Pro Performer T model, 87 edition.
Oh,
So-
look, Vega, I've infected 5-star with BMX. Big D would be proud. Yes, he would. So the T1004, the one like the old 2500, hard cranky sound confirmed the speaker when amp powers up and when shutting off. Otherwise, no issue when playing. So it might be a temperature thing. I'm thinking.
Cold solder joint?
No, just temperature. Like it's just cold.
And the T.
Or it could be a cold solder joint. I mean, yeah. Oh, the cold solder joint. Ooh,
Cold solder joints. Those are hard to track down.
Oh, that's literally, you gotta hire someone to sit there and go.
Bobby asked, "How's my install on my Prelude going?"
Yeah.
So
Nowhere fast.
So I came by when you were gone.
I know.
Yeah.
I got the plexi.
Yeah, to show you my EQ.
You sent me a picture of it, which Chris and I then talked about for the next 20 minutes. The ERG 190.
Yeah.
Was it a 90 or an 80?
180.
Yeah, so we were talking about the ERG 180.
So 180 was graphic.
Yes,
190 was
parametric.
Yeah.
And the 320 was a nightmare.
320 was
A
concert.
Cool, was a light display.
Yeah,
I told you how I hooked those up, right?
Just so that
they just moved.
Yep, no effect.
You could push all the buttons you wanted.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing.
All right.
All right, scroll to the top. Let's see where we're at. Correctly designed ported enclosure will yield excellent results and added efficiency. It's possible to do one for a car, just got to know
Your math.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for sure. A lot of guys have always said, oh, you can't do vented enclosures and sound quality cars.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
It's not true. You can do vented enclosures. You just have to know what you're doing. More than
Oh yeah,
anything
too,
else.
and you also have to. My thought is, listening to all you sound quality guys, you have to have one setting for what I'm going to listen to and one setting for what they're going to listen to.
Correct.
And as long as the ported enclosure will give them what they want, then who cares?
Right.
So. Where's those CDs, Jeff?
Hey, Alaska just got bought by my buddy Travis, so that might make it easier.
Okay.
I got it.
Oh, he's supposed to be. I think he's coming to Long Beach. Oh no, so I'll introduce you guys.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Heard Focal K2s. Wow, I thought JL were good. These blow them away. What's your thought on the K2?
K2 is.
You can be any way you want on this.
No.
Nalka has your phone number. But I don't think you got anything to worry about there.
The K2 is a beast.
Yeah.
The K2, that's the only way to talk about. It is good sound quality, but the K2 is the beast. Like, it is loud, in your face, but it's clean and
Sounds
it will.
clear.
Yeah. But it's,
So I've always explained K2 as you just don't understand K2 until you've heard K2. Like, you can talk about K2 all you want, but until you sat in a car with K2, and we actually did a guy's car once where he drove up here and had us put K2 in it. And I didn't know anything, like he was a fan of the show and all that crap. And he goes, we're listening to it, we're demoing it at the end. He goes, dude, you're right. And I was like, what? He goes, you just don't understand K2 until you've heard K2. And I was like...
And if you did the mid-bass the right way, like even through the passive crossover, this is what's weird if you get the three-way set. The mid-bass and the passive crossover with the impedance swing will drop below like 1 ohm and put some amps into
they're 2
protection.
ohm, right? Oh, yeah.
Dude, that mid-bass driver is nuts. nuts. It's the K2s are awesome,
especially on the three-way set, because on the three-way set it has a different mid-bass driver.
Yes,
It's
a
actual
dedicated
mid-bass.
Hey, Donnie.
Yeah, we did that in a
doesn't have the
Porsche.
phase plug in it.
All right.
A Porsche three-way set where we used that as the because they didn't have to, we used that as the sub, and it was like, wow, okay.
What do you think about this?
Can Jeff explain about the
Difference between the W6 and the W7 for sound quality.
Oh, so this was a conversation we were having a couple weeks ago where you actually chimed in and said W7 SQ all day long.
Yep.
So
it's like this.
Oh, yeah,
so
well,
I remember a conversation when I had my retail store, Audio Designs in Atlanta. We were a JL dealer, and for all of our customers that wanted to get like stupid loud, it was recommended that we do W6s.
Okay.
Right? And W7s, we did a couple. They're great subwoofers. Will they get loud? Yes, they will get really loud. But the W7 has its, I'm not going to say limitations, it's a different sound.
right.
Okay.
Right? Most guys use them to get loud. They will get really loud. They take big boxes.
That was
Well,
my
that was
thought.
the thing.
But
Yeah,
they
that was
also
my thought.
have,
For
you
big
know,
fat
you go
bass.
to the 13, you got the weird impedance because a lot of woofers wouldn't do the 1.5 ohm or, you know, because it's dual threes. And then you go over to the W6, and the W6 was just more of that beast woofer. I mean, even though the W7, I mean, you look at their home subwoofers, all the Gothams and Fathoms and everything else, they're all derivatives of the W7.
Okay.
Right? So it's a platform that's built for extreme control, lots of excursion for a sound quality setup. Not saying the W6 can't be a sound quality woofer. Not saying the W7 can be a sound quality woofer. But it's all about the application. For a street beater, for my personal opinion, I was W6 all day long. 313 W6s. Me and Manville talked about this a million times. We had so many guys that were 313 W6s, and we would strap 2 1000s to 313s, and everybody would be like, how did you do that?
Wow.
I mean, we were game matching the amplifiers
Yeah.
sharing signals, and we'd put 3 coils on one amp, 3 coils on the other amp, and it would blow everybody. Wow. Standard cab Dodge Ram Viper truck.
Right.
313 W6s behind the seat in a standard cab truck.
Wow.
Nuts.
Oh,
Range Rover.
that must have hurt.
Oh, dude, it was nasty.
Wow.
Yeah, that would hurt. Because, I mean, I've done, obviously years ago, I've done a couple of those. Oh, look at Jeff throwing fire on there. K2s or GBs?
What do you think about
All right,
different sounds?
all right, hold on. Don't answer that. Before we even address that issue, I just want to pull this little guy right here. This is an Audio Frog GB25, and I've been sitting on the shelf for about 2 weeks now that I've been neglecting because I was working on this.
You can even see it.
That right there, the whole Jeff Smith thing. Anyways, this GB25 belongs to that guy right there. So I think that's not a question we want to answer.
Now, no, I'll answer that question 100%.
I know.
So,
I'm joking.
So, it's all personal opinion.
Right.
So, now, Focal, at the time, so my previous Camry,
Yes.
I had Illusion C3s,
Yes.
Illusion
Oh, yeah.
C8s in the doors.
I remember
you
making those
you're-
panels.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. That car was nuts. That car sounded amazing, right? Never finished the install because we used it to build a AP4TY12 and, you know, the car kept evolving, and I was busy doing whatever, blah, blah, blah. Got rid of that car, got the new car, and now this car has true 3-way. So now it's a complete different setup, right? So I was like, okay, well, the C3s will work, but they won't work. So
Right, because it's smaller.
right, because it's smaller. So I was like, you know what? So let me try something different. Let me try the GBs.
Yeah.
And I did someone else's car with GB 2-way set in it, and I was
Blown away.
when you hear the GB60.
Oh yeah, I know. We've done one. We
it's
did
like,
a Porsche.
What just happened?
Dude,
Yeah,
I was
we
like
did a Cayenne.
insane.
Oh, dude, I literally got done with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we got done tuning it, and we just both got out of the car, and I pulled up my phone, and I texted Andy, and I said, I would like to thank you for making such an amazing speaker. Have a nice day.
my
Bye.
Dude, I'm telling you, back in the day, I was diehard MB Court QSD guy, right?
Hey, Ziggy.
Mid bass out of this world, right?
Okay.
So you get into the K2s, right? The K2 mid bass is like this though. It's massive, right? It's huge, and it doesn't fit everything. You have to make it fit. In
you gotta want it.
Certain locations. So I mean, you have to make that. Now that mid bass with the right amount of power on it, versus the GB60 that's going to go into stock locations a lot easier.
Right.
Totally different night and day. Now, then you get into the math behind it, right? So I had a C8, Illusion C8, and I have a GB60. The excursion of the 60 is more than the excursion of the C8, but you now have larger cone area. But the output of the 60 is, if not the same, maybe a tad bit more than my C8 was.
Because you're moving,
same power,
faster, moving more air.
same power. It's GBs are great speakers. Focals are too. It's all personal opinion.
When we put it on the Porsche, I was like,
what's the
holy
successor
moly,
of the
man, that was
Rockford
crazy.
5Gate T1 amp line? There isn't one. So about 2 years ago, I had a conversation with Rockford, and I was like, when are we going to get an update to the Power Series amplifiers?
Hey, Manuel,
And
thank you so much,
They
man.
just
We
kinda-
appreciate it.
The
Merry
answer to
Christmas,
that
man.
was, right now we have no plans to redo it because everything we want, and you can understand this with dealing with everything you do at AMP. If we can't do what we want to do to it, and there's nothing wrong with the current lineup, why would we change it?
Right.
Because if we have to, right now, their answer was, this was 2 years ago, if we change the amplifier to how we want to build it and all the improvements we want to do to it, we're going to make the cost to the point that no one's going to buy it.
Right.
So we either A, need to just leave it alone and let this run its course and sell and do its thing, because there's nothing wrong with the amplifier, until such time that they can make the amplifier for the price that it needs to be at.
So here's a perfect example of what you just said. It's very hard for us as manufacturers, because I work for a manufacturer, to constantly change amplifiers, especially when you get the recipe just right.
Yeah.
What is the longest selling amplifier line that's been the same for years? JL Slash.
I was going to say.
JL Slash
I'm like going through my head
lasted
going, it's
for
got to be a brand we
years,
don't carry.
right? Slash is still around.
Right.
But like, there was no point of JL changing the Slash until the market changed.
Right.
So it
And then the
literally
VXI came out.
no.
Oh, no.
XD
There again,
came out.
I don't know why.
Right?
Yeah,
XD
yeah,
and HD came out, right? Because everyone's going
Small.
full range Class D and small chassis
Okay.
versus the larger ABs. So literally, once the industry started going that way, and I blame Alpine for that whole thing, once PDX came out and everybody saw the amplifiers go, that's when all this started happening. So
I wonder how that phone conversation went.
JL went XDs, then it went HDs.
An
you know.
XD 900.5
Right?
or an Alpine PDX V9.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, but no, I mean, once a manufacturer gets the recipe right, man, dude, just sit back and enjoy years and years of amplifiers working, no issues, and refining them, making little changes.
Yeah, but you're gonna do that like in running changes, like
Right.
talking to our friend.
Thank you,
Joe
David Monroe.
Hobart. It's like you figure out what works, and you figure out what works a little better, and you figure out what's a little better, and as the life cycle of the amplifier evolves over 5-year period, you'll make little tweaks here and there because better components will become available, or old components will get discontinued and new versions of the components will come out.
Right.
And that's a great thing, but if the core of the amplifier is good, then there's no reason to replace it just to have a new shiny heatsink.
Yep.
I feel that a lot of these companies that every 2 years they have to come out with new amplifiers, it's a pain in the ass.
So think about back in the day, right? This just popped into my head because I'm looking at the
225 HCCA.
Thank you,
HCCA
Wayne.
on the wall, right? So back in the day, you had HCCA,
Yep.
you had SX, you had GX. No, it was HCCA, GX, SX,
SX.
and GT.
Yeah, but GT came out much later.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it was basically the same amplifier dumbed down in scenarios.
Yes, because the SX would have the SX and the HCCA, and then the GTs went away because the SX was a smarter version of the GT,
Right.
And then
you had the
HCC
GT220, GT620,
Yep.
GT420, all the smaller ones.
Yeah,
Right. So that's what manufacturers used to do. They would make their
240.
pinnacle, and then they would step down.
And then the only thing they changed when they did away with the GT and they just had SX and HCCA. I'm sorry, with the GX. When they did away with the GX and just had the two shiny amplifiers, was they just changed the logo.
Yep.
It was essentially an updated updated what was behind it.
Yeah.
But
it was very similar with PG back in the day. Like when Larry Fredericks was around, they first came out with the MS, and then they came out with the MPS, and then they decided to make the M series, which was basically a stripped down version of the the higher end amplifiers that were still great. So different
I like
scenarios.
Sean. Apple sold a lot of phones by just changing the colors.
Exactly. And every time one comes out,
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so so did I ever tell you my Food Lion story? So when I worked for Procter & Gamble, I used to work for Procter & Gamble, and I worked the soap aisle. And Food Lion came into town here in Florida, and we have all the big stores. We have Albertsons, and we had Cash and Carries, and we had Winn-Dixie's, and we had Walmarts, and we had all these big stores, Publix, and you go into these stores, and it's just like it's a freaking giant store. Well, Food Lion was like, no, we're gonna come in, we're gonna go into the subdivision. We're gonna where the gym is down the street from your house, where McDonald's is.
Okay, yeah.
That was a Food Lion. They built that plaza to make it a Food Lion. That opened as a Food Lion because that subdivision that's behind it, and then yours was going in, and the one across the street. They wanted to be right there. So Dawn is a Procter & Gamble product. So all they carried was blue and green. That was it. Only blue and green. And I was like, we got like 6 other flavors. Why are we just carrying blue and green? And they're, Charlotte, North Carolina guys are, all right, well, because, we want, we smaller stores, we can only carry 2 flavors. I'm like, this store is never going to make it. Because we like variety. Florida people we're used to the Publix and Albertsons going, do I want blue or do I want green? We have light blue. Ooh, that matches my curtains.
Thanks, Mario.
And then there's that yellowy orange looking color.
Yeah. I like the smell of it. So I was like, ooh, they have clear now. I gotta have clear. So what happened? Within like 5 or 6 years, they were out of business.
The Food Lion.
Food Lions were gone, and they got bought out by Cash and Carry.
All right.
Immediately made the store bigger and brought in all the colors.
All right, I have a question for Jeff. You ever planning to mess around with the SPL build in one of your daily drive?
Ha!
That was good.
Ha! There is a box in my garage.
Really?
That has a single PG Elite 12 in it that is... It's a coffin.
Okay.
It's a coffin.
So you went for the big size.
It's it used to be in the Suburban, and it won't fit in the Tahoe now because the Tahoe doesn't have the big back.
Right.
It's a short body style Tahoe. But dude, the Suburban was that was the test. So literally the 2,000 watt mono, the previous Ti2.
Yep. Big
2 of
starter.
those strapped to it. The when we tested the Ti3s, I had another enclosure that was 412s ISO vented.
Okay.
Dude, it's yes. So I play around. I don't not for daily too often, but
So you don't mind riding around Kyle's little Honda?
Hey, Guillermo.
Kyle doesn't have the Toyota now. He has a Toyota Tacoma now.
Yeah, but he had the little Honda.
Oh yeah, the Honda was loud. The Honda was loud. No, it doesn't bother me at all. I'll tell you. So hanging out with Thatcher and the guys up in Lakeland, those guys build some crazy loud vehicles. So. Did you see the picture of me tuning the Tahoe with the 2410s or whatever it was?
Yeah, I saw it.
No, I didn't see that one yet.
I saw it.
So there's a picture of me standing like 50 feet away with the RTA and everything.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So,
that's
that's a per audio loud setup, right?
Yep.
But on the inside, that thing has 8 Juggernaut 15s or 6
Jesus.
Juggernaut 15s.
Wow.
In the 6th order.
So what you're trying to say is you get your fill?
Oh yes, I get my fill. When I go to Lakeland to visit those boys, up at Mile to Wild up there and Thatcher at Monster Sounds, those guys, they build some loud stuff.
All right, so 2013 Tacoma, need recommendations to replace a head unit and speakers.
I don't know.
Need nav and CD.
Jerk.
For a 2013.
For a 13 Tacoma. So we put the Elevate.
And the Tacoma.
In the Tacoma.
Yeah.
And that came out really good. So you can check.
I mean, Elevate's cool. I mean, I work around them all the time. But I tell you what I really loved recently. The 9906.
9906.
9906?
996. Oh, sorry. 906 or 9906 from Kenwood.
9906.
Yeah, the non-navigation.
Awesome. Yes.
So I have that one. I have the 996. So 996.
Yeah.
Same thing with nav.
Yeah, non-nav.
Yeah.
That
but
thing was
they're the same radios.
Yeah, that thing was awesome. I was super surprised.
Oh, I wanted to ask you real quick. So, like we normally this time of the year, what we do is we'd have we do a show where we pick like the top 5 double dins, top 5 new tech, and stuff like that. And we didn't do them this year because we didn't have anything worth doing. Like we don't really pay attention. Like everyone knows 996 is the best. So it was like whatever. But tech, we were almost going to do tech and we never got around to it because we just didn't have time. But of all the cool stuff you've seen this year, what was the coolest, and it could be more than one thing, but what was the coolest one thing that you saw this year?
An actual product or a...
No, an actual, something that actually came out.
For me, it would probably have to be Helixes Mini Dsp.
Okay.
The Mini.
The Mini.
The one you have in your car, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first DSP we've had in a number of years that has center channel capability.
Yep.
That actually works.
Okay.
Center channel capability. Their bass augmentation, i.e. epicenter.
Yeah.
Right. Type.
Bass restoration.
Bass restoration.
Yeah.
High res capability, optical in, input EQ, all pass filter capability. It's, even though it's only a 6-channel DSP, it's a super powerful 6-channel DSP, hands down. I mean, that to me was probably the coolest thing, and it's tiny.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God,
Super
yes.
tiny. Yeah. It's that big.
Yeah.
It's not bad price. It's I think retails $4.99 or.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the coolest thing I've seen in a while. But there's some other cool stuff coming. So.
Well, yeah. There's okay. We both know that.
Yes.
But okay. So knowing. Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. Knowing the cool stuff that's on the horizon, that's coming out in a couple weeks. That hopefully we'll get to talk about in a couple weeks because I want the embargo lifted. Okay. Knowing that, and then looking back at the beginning of, let's say, the last 2 years, do you feel that the stuff that's coming out is like exciting because it's stuff we've wanted and it's like we're finally getting around to it, or do you think it's just we're excited? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing been cool up until now, and then we're finally.
There's been lots of cool things. Just okay. So this is kind of how I look at the tech thing, right? So from a industry standpoint,
yeah,
right. What has been the coolest thing in the last 12 months or couple months to make our industry easier or better? For me, hands down, besides that DSP, it would probably be products like Ampro, Zen, and the AR, right?
Correct.
Making everyone's lives that much easier, right? But as far as the stuff that's coming down the line, dude, there's some monsters coming.
Oh, I know.
There's some monster products coming.
It's a lot.
There's going to be some pretty cool stuff.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
But the Amplifier DSP integration pieces,
right?
I mean, those are.
Well, I admit, for the last 2 years, those have been the coolest thing. That's really been all we've talking about. So now that we've been talking about those and manufacture, because I look at it, as you know, there's like 18 months to 2 years to develop a product.
Yep.
Successfully.
Yep.
I mean, obviously you can speed up the process and just kind of be like, hey, look what we came out with.
Here's a flash.
But for the most part, it's like a 2-year life cycle. So knowing like when Amp Pro and stuff like that was introduced 2 years ago, and now that the manufacturers have kind of had time to digest that and look at that and realize like, oh, this stuff is, and now they're starting to come out. You know, there's going to be these products that are coming out.
What's up, man?
I mean, you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was in retail daily, and I think about when I come visit you guys all the time. I used to be so excited when someone came in with what was a problem car because I knew I could fix it.
Right.
I knew I could do what nobody else around me was doing. So, but it's funny, like even around here, a lot of the other retailers don't do what you guys do, right? Nobody else around here talks DSP.
Right.
Nobody for miles, unless you go way over to Tampa, like Soundwaves and those guys, go up to Lakeland, you know, all those guys. But like nobody here in the Clearwater area.
So one and have you tune it. Okay, that's not really talking about DSP.
Nobody here in the Clearwater area really talks DSP. You know, the power of DSP. But I don't know. The DMRTA was probably one of the coolest things that's come out recently.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the coolest thing. Yeah.
The entire SMD line of stuff recently.
Ooh, the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
The new
IMG.
So
Plus.
real quick, Wayne, I talked to Mark about that, and all the features should work. There's like the seat heaters and all the stuff that you were concerned with. All those features should work with the RR according to them. If there's a hard button that's in that display, those all get ported through onto the face of the radio. I don't know. He didn't have any ideas of why anyone would have told you they don't, but. Yeah, that's what we got there. Danny Camacho does.
Hey, Danny
Danny down
does.
Amplifier does a good job as well, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not like right here though.
No, and he does.
Right,
And he's off in his own little cave doing like motor swaps and.
Oh,
and,
he do
you
a
know,
lot.
Danny's a good dude, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
pools put in his backyard and all that fun stuff.
That's when you know you're making money.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Audison SRs coming back?
Yes.
So we used to sell Audison back in the day, right?
Yes.
The SRs were great amps, but now the SRs
Are small.
look like
Primas.
Primas.
Yes.
Dude, that's gonna be.
Well, it's really cool because it looks like a Prima and they have a sub amp. Now we might actually be able to put a Prima in and pair it up
out
with
to
a
the
sub amp instead
SR.
of doing the two little minis that we have sitting over there. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Well, what's funny is, so they're already on the website. So you can go to Audison, you can look at the SRs. And so I was talking to Lance, and I was like, "Hey, Lance, where are these?" And he goes, "Oh, not yet." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why did you put them up if we can't toy it?" You know,
exactly.
it's like,
All
what are
right.
you
They're
doing?
trying to get everybody hyped
Precision Inc. Have you heard anything about Ampro for non-premium systems?
up. So currently, there are only two amp pros that work in non-premium systems. That's the AP4 GM61 and the AP4 CH41R2. Those are the for Dodge Chrysler Jeep vehicles and
We have
for
videos up on
the
both of
GM
them?
vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, there'll be more coming soon. Or
Merry Christmas, car gift.
Keep hope alive, my friend.
What's up,
I
Scotty?
know another manufacturer that has some coming. I'm just saying.
Hey, whatever it takes to get people's systems in their cars.
All right, weird
And
question.
they're gonna buy them from you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I totally
Either we
okay
make
right
it in the
here.
front door or the back door.
All right,
Sounded
so
so
it
bad.
says so many systems are amazing, but audiobooks are really quiet. Have to turn the volume to the max.
Oh yeah.
Any suggestions on what to do?
Okay.
EQ curve just for audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if you have if he had a DSP, he could have a setting for higher output.
A preset, yeah.
Well, even if you have
preset
the voice setting on the Kenwood and Pioneer radios
to
are
amplify
designed-
them,
yeah,
those
it's like,
particular
it's like
frequencies.
all the stuff in the
Vocal.
middle that's usually like this,
Yeah.
you do this, and that makes those louder. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like a podcast. If God, nothing sucks worse than you listen to a podcast and you get out of the car and you come back in the car and music starts playing and it's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, having trouble getting the microphone to work on a Kenwood DPX 540BT.
How is
Like
it-
Bluetooth.
so it either
My-
plugs in and works or it plugs in and it doesn't work.
Right.
It's-
Is there any other port on the back of that?
Yes, there's an
It
aux
is.
port and there's
And
two
the-
ports. There's an
uh-huh.
aux port and then the Bluetooth port. One says WR and one says AUX.
Correct.
Oh, and if that's not a video piece though, is it? If it's a video piece, you also have the iData port.
The iData
So
piece,
on
yeah.
a video piece, you have three 3.5 millimeter ports on the back of it. Pioneer does the little 16th inch, and then they have two.
Hey, Ada says hi,
ports.
Jeff.
What's up, Ada? His name. Oh, that threw me off. I'm like, Ada Vision. What is that?
Yeah.
I never seen that before.
Oh,
What's
okay.
up, Ada?
Yeah.
Me and Ada had a good heart-to-heart a few days ago. It was.
Did you?
Yeah, it was good. It was one of those moments when you had to. Did you see my Facebook post about Wusa?
No.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, never mind. It was it was one of those moments where it was like
Was he ready to do that, or you ready to do that?
I was, but
Oh, okay.
All right.
And he talked you down?
we kind of both talked each other down.
Dang.
So
All right, so Brian.
what's up, Brian Gowan?
Jeff, will you use pods on the dash or the A-pillars?
He's got the F-150.
Yeah. In his F-150, I would probably do a combo. If the mid is going to go on your dash, put the tweeters on the sail panels if you can, like to make the width of the vehicle a lot.
Brian, we know we can.
Yeah, I mean, so you get F-150. Yeah, if you do the mid in the dash, Brian, put the tweeters further out to give you a better,
wider
sound
What did
stage.
Vegas say there? He misses all those cool parts from
Phoenix, the
I gotta ship,
distributions and
fellas.
everything.
All right, thanks, Vega. You have a wonderful holiday too, man.
Thanks,
Thanks
man.
for stopping by and playing
Someone
along.
asked if there was a Best Buy question. Someone asked about Roadshow. That's the Best Buy situation.
Yes. Yeah. Good luck.
Oh
I don't know.
man,
I
it's
saw it
just
somewhere
like
up there. I
Look
think they
into-
asked if I was going to do the road shows again. So yeah, we do the road shows. There we go, Jeff. Are you going to be doing the Autotech road show this year, William Brown? Yes, sir, I am. Love doing the Autotech road shows. You'd be amazed how many Best Buy guys
I love
watch
the Best
this
Buy
show.
guys.
The Autotechs, actually, they're Autotechs, but I think they relabeled them all as like Geek Squad now. But whatever. So all the installers at Best Buy, they watch this show religiously. I run into a lot of them all over the country. So
Oh, we get a lot of them to chime in. I mean, it's like dude, and we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
There's what? How many Best Buys are there? Over 1,000.
there's 1,028 stores total, I think.
Okay,
28,
so
38,
each store
something.
probably has 3 to 5 employees. So
You mean like installers?
Yes.
No, you'd be surprised. The majority of the stores are single until holiday season. A lot of them are single man bays.
Really?
Yep, a lot of them are single man bays, and every now and then you'll come across a store that may have. Oh, Ron W's a Best Buy guy.
Okay.
You'll come across a store that may have 1 or 2 guys, and then they'll have 1 guy in a part time.
Wow,
so
that's a lot of hours.
do a lot of hours.
Hey Ramon, I
My heart
totally
goes out
missed
to
your
them,
question,
man.
man. If you can type it again, that would be cool.
I like the Clifford, or not the Clifford. I like the jeez, why did I say Clifford? Crutchfield.
Crutchfield?
Crutchfield.
That's
it's
cool.
like working at the Playboy Mansion.
Oh.
Any standalone touchscreen DSP controls in the future?
Standalone
DSP?
touchscreen DSP.
So one of the conversations I had with Mark at iData was, you guys had RR, you had AR. Why didn't Kenwood make the DSP 600.6 go the other way into the radio? Why? And the answer to that was exactly what I thought it would be. We told them to do that, and they said no.
Yeah.
And because they did that, that amplifier has been like
Dead in the water.
Like we sell it.
Yeah.
I love that amplifier, but it's like
But you can only use it with that
Yeah.
particular piece.
yeah,
So, yeah.
it's a nightmare.
Could you imagine if you were able? So Alpine AINet,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you had to have an Alpine processor with the Alpine head unit in order to make that happen. And like first generation Elevate was that way with
Yes,
the
with the
PG
Wi-Fi,
DSP,
yeah,
right?
'cause- Yep.
so, and because of cost down, we took it out. But yeah, I mean, whenever you can communicate from the head unit directly to the DSP and take it all out, that would have been amazing for Kenwood to do that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so he said it will be horrible to build a pot for the mid-range in the door panel above the mid-bass and leave the tweeter in the A pillar about 12 inches from the mid-range going to be active.
Would it be horrible to build pods for the mid-range and the door above the mid-bass? I don't think. I mean, as long as you can time correct, as long as you have a
It's all
DSP,
gonna be
yeah. I mean,
like
the-
that.
Right.
That's like
DSP
the
is gonna-
Scion TC. Tweeter? Mid-range?
yeah.
Mid-bass.
And Andy's Benz is that way. You know,
Yeah.
you got tweeter, mid-bass,
Well,
mid-range.
that's a Land Rover.
No,
it's
it's
in Mercedes.
I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
Land Rover's
Yeah,
same way.
Yeah. No, so it'll definitely work. You just
Yeah.
have to have the
Mustang.
What's that, John
The
Jones?
Mustang's the same
yeah,
way.
the ability to time correct.
Yeah. Time correction's over.
This guy, third era, he goes, I personally think Circuit City and Best Buy lost a lot of business because something Fernando scrolling.
That's right there.
Because they
It's
took
right
out
here.
the huge cardio section where I could pick out and switch amps and subs, but they hated me. And my area.
Really what it came down to is the market shifted.
Yeah, market.
You know, like I remember, so when we were in Seattle, we went to
Car Toys?
a Car Toys,
Mhm.
and I immediately walked in there and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm back in a Circuit City.
Yep.
I mean, it was a Circuit City, and I was like, this is the Circuit City.
But cooler.
This is the Circuit City that I remember from my youth. Now,
the entire store with no washers and dryers and no.
yeah, exactly. In
Yeah.
a big area. But what made me feel bad is because they pulled out the cell phone portion of it. And so now they have a big open area where they're just like filling up with stuff.
Mhm.
And that reminded me of Circuit City towards the end where it was like what do we do with this huge space that used to be like CDs and used to be like computers and used to be, it's like, so, I mean, the market changed and Best Buy's doing the best they can to, like, they sell toys now. Best Buy sells toys, and it's like, okay, why not? There's no more Toys R Us. Why not? I mean, somebody's got to buy shit somewhere.
This is crazy.
But yeah, it's strange. Yeah.
It says, I told my girl I want a Mini Pros for the Christmas. Now, because of you guys, might return them and put the money on the K2s. I mean,
Aaron,
the Mini Pros are
Aaron
good.
Richards, if you've heard the Mini Pros before and you like them, go for them. The Mini Pros are great drivers also. Everybody has their own personal opinion.
Right.
You know, some people like ketchup, some people don't. Like,
I'm just trying to think about that one. Would
it's
I
all
rather
personal
have
opinion.
Hey, Christopher
Mini
McNulty.
Pros or...
Yes, Chris is right. Albert's Camry's that way. It has mid-range, mid-bass, mid-range, and tweeter in a vertical array as well.
I was just trying to think what I like
sounds
though.
good.
And,
Mini Pros
Mini
versus...
Pros or K2s.
Oh.
I mean, there's a big price difference between the two. It's like a couple $100 between the two. Because I think the Mini Legends are more like K2s than that.
But Mini Legends,
So,
yeah.
Because the
I mean,
Pros
it's-
are like older, high energies, right?
Well, no, it's a redesign, but the basic concept was to be replacement for the high
For the
energies.
high-
But then
high
they came
energies.
out with Cento Pros, which are
Yeah.
actually supposedly the replacements for high energies, but nothing.
They need to bring back the MLK 165s and the Space One tweeters. That was the absolute best. Period.
Yeah, well,
Hands
slow
down.
down. It can
Hands
happen.
down.
I don't know,
All
because
right.
the tweeters are the big difference there, man.
There we go. David Monroe. What's your opinion of Wolfram amps? All right. Kyle has a buddy that has a vehicle full of Wolfram equipment.
Really?
And we worked on it yesterday on a Sunday for a unnecessary amount of time.
Because you didn't have anything else better
Well,
to do.
I was working on CES stuff, but he was having some issues. I had never heard of Wolfram before.
Really?
Never in my life.
I put some in a thing about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never heard of him in my life. I mean, they seem to be decent stuff. It's just a internet company.
Yeah.
You know, no real retail following. It seems to be decent stuff. I don't know.
They made a phone call, put the name on it, and they sent them a bunch of stuff in a
Maybe so.
container.
Maybe so.
I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, I have a 2007 4Runner with the JBL synthesis system.
You have JBL
Yep.
synthesis.
Yep. I want to remove the factory system and go with the components. Do I replace the center channel, the speaker? If you so, how?
What? It's a
It's a 2007 4Runner.
4Runner.
So, this is the system. That's
So-
when we always put the 8 in.
Right.
Yeah. Make sure you replace it with a.
Proper ohm
If it has a JBL
Yep.
system,
Mhm.
he can keep the stock head unit and keep the factory amplifier and add the Toyota Amp Pro, right? Then he can add an amplifier that has ability to re-amplify the center channel, right?
Everybody's going to lose that DSP, though.
You lose the synthesis DSP,
Yeah, because you're going Amp Pro.
but he can use like a Helix that has center channel capability
Well, at that
why
point,
not
yeah.
just put a radio in and call it a day?
because he wants to keep the aesthetics of the vehicle.
At that point, why not
This
put a
is
radio and
good.
call
See
it a
that?
day?
See that?
I mean, well, okay, so if you buy, with that vehicle, if you buy a 7-inch doubled in to put in there, it looks almost like that factory 7-inch because the 7-inch for that was the rounded old thing. I mean, it's a Toyota. It's
Tundra, Tacoma?
It's
a 4Runner.
no, it's a
Sorry,
4Runner.
4Runner.
yeah, so 4Runner had
4Runner still had the
Yeah.
radio
Yeah,
sit
it's
in the
still like
dash.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I mean, it would
So,
look- it would
replace the
look-
radio.
I would
It's
replace the
not one of the integrated like my car.
No,
No.
It's old. It's old
like
school.
an old
Oh,
school.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Then
I
yeah,
would
put a-
I'd
put
put
a
a radio in it. call it a
DNX
day.
9906 in it and be done with it.
Yeah, and then forget the center channel. Just do all
Don't
the mids
forget
and
to
highs
send in
and some
your,
power.
yeah.
What do you call it? The thing, the rebate. Yeah.
Bobby, of course. you went to
Okay,
see
I
Star
was
Wars.
replacing the head unit with the DMX 906. There you go.
906 is great.
I wouldn't worry about the center channel. I mean, I would just pull all that synthesis stuff out, put some really nice components in it, something in
But
the
like
back,
Jeff
put some
said,
power.
If
You
have
can
the ability to
replace
put
it. Put the Helix DSP
Yeah,
mini.
with
Oh,
center
okay, well,
channel.
yeah, I mean,
Boom.
all right.
Right there. You still keep the center
Yes,
channel.
because you could go passive all four corners, a sub, and a center channel.
Right.
And then at that point, just
Is that a 3 and a dash?
I think it's a 2.
2.
That's fine because there's plenty of them now. I mean, everyone makes one. We saw the GB25 earlier. We have the Morel. We have Audison makes one now in the Prima line. So they're and you could even go affordable with Kenwood, because Kenwood has the new 2.5 inch that just go right in there.
All right. What DSP can do proper center channels?
In my opinion, the newer Helix DSPs, the new Pro .3, the new Mini, and the new Ultra Helix that's coming, and there's a few other toys coming from those guys. Those are the only ones I've done recently that actually have the right algorithm to do center channel. And I'm sure once Andy does his 24 channel
whatever
deal,
Audison.
I haven't used that one. Hint, Lance.
You can hint all you want on that.
Yeah, I haven't used the new Audison stuff for what is it called?
Chris is like
whatever.
He's the Audison guy. What's going on?
Channel?
No, I mean Chris is old school like me, so we've been around the Alpine stuff.
H800 with the or H800 or whatever.
So Alpine center channel capability was ProLogic 2.
Yeah.
Like when I had the F1 in my car, I used center channel in my Accord. A lot of people never knew it because you never saw it. It was under the dash mat, but it definitely worked.
Yeah.
Dolby ProLogic 2 in music mode. Rocked.
Okay, so I like this one. Your opinion, 6.5. This is one of those that will never be answered, but 6.5 versus 6x9 for mid-bass in the door. So your Toyota has a 6x9 in it. If they made a GB 690 that was 6x9 shaped or 6.5,
I talked to Andy extensively about this before I got the GB60 because he makes a GS 690.
Right.
Right? But I will say this. Hands down, right now, it's a hard toss between, if you're going to go 6x9 and stay in a stock location, the new hybrid Unity 6x9.
Okay.
Hybrid has a Unity 6x9 that's a 2-ohm mid-bass for 6x9. Dude, that thing is nuts.
Really?
Nuts. There's a guy, one of my buddies up in, I don't even know where Tom lives. Tom lives in Illinois, I think. Tom has, he competes Team Hybrid, and Tom has the LaGuardia 3.5 or 3-inch on the dash, and then the 6x9 in the door, and that's it.
Real quick, Brian goes H800. Can't wait for my replacement. Gee, Brian, just saying.
No, the hybrid Unity 6x9 is a beast for mid-bass.
Okay, so
mid-bass.
There again, that's a hybrid, so that's a bit on the price.
Well, there's Unity.
So that's a cheap one.
So there's LaGuardia X, there's LaGuardia, then there's Unity.
Have you heard the Morels?
I have not heard the Morel 6x9.
Dude, that
Casey
thing.
Do you have one?
No, we have them next door.
Okay.
Oh my God, they pound.
Yeah.
Like they pound, and it was funny because I was talking to Casey about them, and I said, "Dude, have you ever heard your 6x9s?" Because we got in a big argument because I was like, "When are we gonna get some for 2 6x9s or something like that?" And he's like, "We can't sell them because Japan doesn't want them." And I'm like, "That's funny because
you know how many vehicles?"
I'm like, because like every vehicle makes one. He had to buy all of the 6x9s that they made to ship to the U.S. because they weren't selling anywhere
overseas,
else.
Yeah.
So Morel was like, "We're not gonna." And
so this is the fight, and I may be. Anyway, so there's a constant discussion within our doors. About vehicles that need 6x9 components or 6x9 two-way, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every Toyota, 6x9 in the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Every Dodge vehicle, 6x9 in the front door. Every Chevy vehicle, 6x9 in the front door. Right? And then what's on the dash? 2.5, 2 3/4, 3-inch.
Yeah, big tweeter. Yeah.
So many vehicles that come in, you have to have 6x9 components. Because if not, what are you doing? You're going to be making plates all day. If you had a 6x9 component that would drop in,
be done.
You'd be done.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it like this: when you have Alpine that makes their 3 lines of speakers, and all 3 lines of them have a 6x9 component in them,
they know what's up.
You need to get on your game. Kenwood was being coy with us when we were talking to them about it, going, "I don't know, what are you talking about?" And then they came out with the 2.5 or the 2 and the 3 with the 6x9 with no tweeter, which I thought was dumb.
People discount Kenwood's audio abilities.
Oh, that's 6x9. Awesome.
The Miata you guys did that day with that 7-inch component set,
Yeah.
Dude, that was nuts.
Oh, those are the mid-bass monsters.
Yeah.
Dude, that 6x9 in the Ram, what we do is for the normal price is we do that 6x9, we do the 2.5, and then we pull a set of 6x9s out of the package and put those in the back, because there's nothing like they screwed up when they made those sound better than their big monster Exelons. It was like, you guys are nuts.
We sell no 6x9 because I don't want a weird skew mix. What?
That's Ada. Let's be honest. Come on, buddy.
Okay.
Does he sell? Well, he sells Sony. He sells JVC. Yeah, he doesn't sell any brand other than Audio
I think
Frog.
he sells just JBL. No.
Well, in all the Orca stuff.
There's no dedicated 6x9
in Orca.
No.
You know. Yeah.
No.
Oh, you might be
There's
right. Well, he
You
has
know who
output.
used to make
If I
a really-
heard for a
who makes
lot of
real
stuff, man, for
good
Christmas.
6x9 back in the day. Kicker's free air 6x9 and subwoofer.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's
The F69, dude, that thing was awesome.
Hey, we're
Joe
talking
should bring
about Donnie.
Oh, hey, what's up,
Amplifier.
man?
What's up, man?
Well, you know what?
Well, Jason actually say, "Merry Christmas, guys."
Fro, what's up, man?
And Jason, keep it at the time.
It's 1 hour already.
Has told us it's been an hour. It's been an hour, my friend.
Already.
Thank you so much for coming on our last show of the year.
That's crazy.
This is it. We probably won't be back on YouTube until this I don't know, late 11th maybe.
I don't
January
know, man.
11th.
We'll
I'm
see.
thinking.
Yeah.
Because I need a break. And
Uber
you know,
is
with
cheap.
everything going on. So yeah, dude, thank you guys so much for a wonderful year. We hope you
Appreciate
guys
everybody joining.
have a wonderful holiday season.
If you guys know the Jeff
First
Smith.
of the year, great Christmas,
Can't
great,
barely
you know,
see
all
it.
that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And because we're not even there to say it, remember, Uber, Lyft are cheap. This is the time everyone wants to party, everyone wants to have a good time. Don't make dumb mistakes because we need to see you back here after the first year.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff coming up. We have, in February, we have the fun that is going to be Knowledge Fest in California.
Long Beach.
That's going to be a party
Thanks,
for
Sean.
sure. And then after that, we're going to be in Indy, and then we're going to be
Orlando?
at,
So,
you know,
January
hey, you know what we're
CES.
going to be doing together that you don't know about yet? We're going to be doing the DAS show. I'm coming to do the DAS show with you.
In Atlantic City.
Yes, I'll be in DAS with
Yes.
you. Artie
Nice.
probably hasn't talked to you about that yet, huh?
He said
Some other
something,
time,
but
yes.
it may have been.
So,
So,
I'll be.
Ada comes to DAS
Oh, I know.
every year.
Well,
So
I'll be-
DAS
I'll
is an
be-
awesome
I'll
show
be
in
saying,
Atlantic
I
City.
hate you.
I'll be
guys.
wearing the purple shirt going, how can I help you guys today? I'll be the faux amp guy in the booth.
Oh, look at that.
So I'll be at DAS, and so there's a lot of stuff planned for next year. Of course, all the new products that are coming out that after the second week in January we get to talk about. I'm so
Correct.
excited about that. So there is a lot of car audio on the future. But for this time, right now, go spend time with your families. Go hug a stranger. Go hug your subwoofer. Do
You
whatever
always
it
have
is that
your
makes
car.
you feel good. Don't worry if you guys, you won't be left out in the cold. Well, you might be because it's cold where you're at.
Not cold here, just raining.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
brought it back with me from
Seattle?
Yes, Jesus. 5 minutes with 5-star. We're still going to
Always,
be doing that.
yep.
Okay, so you still be able to find us on Instagram, 5 minutes on 5-star. So get your questions, get your Jones in, get all that stuff going on. I have a couple videos that I'm trying to get done. I can't promise you anything because we have the RAM. We got the RAM with Kyle. We filmed that the other night. That went really well. So we have the beta Dodge. It's out now, but we have the beta when it was still in beta production.
Okay, real quick. Aaron say, what's DAS?
DAS is a distributor in the Northeast.
So we'll be in
audio
Atlantic
distributor,
City.
And they have a big distributor show for their retail dealers in Atlantic City every year.
So I'll be up in Atlantic City, you know.
So,
We might hang out with, I think we're going to hang out with Frankie one day.
Nice. Frankie's cool, man.
Frankie.
dude,
is-
I remember in
Frankie's
Dallas,
insane.
Frankie was like,
All right,
crazy.
guys.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're not going to keep
See
you any
ya.
longer. Thanks so much for
Thanks,
tuning
guys.
into this show. You guys are wonderful. Be safe this holiday season. Seriously, be
I'll
safe.
talk to you soon, Alan.
And with that,
Merry
I
Christmas,
think-
guys.
Anything else we need to worry about? Helix Fit? Yes. It's actually, the Mini is in Fernando's car right now.
Yeah.
He's playing with it.
I find out a lot of stuff, so okay.
I think we actually have to take it back out though and put an 810 in because you're gonna be teaching. We're
gonna
the
be
Spanish
this
class.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
going to do that?
So
Okay,
I'm
no
gonna
worries.
put that in there, let him play with it. But anyways, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate that, if you don't, I'm a Christmas guy, so Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, guys.
Have a Merry
That's it.
Christmas, damn it.
Podcast.
That's just how it goes. You guys have a wonderful time.
Bye,
Fernando,
Bobby.
end the show.